Are you tired of auditioning and feeling like just another face in the crowd? In today's competitive musical theater world, having a standout personal brand is so vitally important. I'm going to show you exactly how to create a unique, authentic brand for yourself that gets you noticed, remembered, and helps you feel like you are being authentic every single time you show up in the room in person or online in front of casting. Whether you're just starting out or looking to reinvent yourself, this step-by-step guide will give you the tools to shine on the stage and also online. Hey, I'm Ashley Espinosa. I've been teaching musical theater as an educator, mentor, career coach for over 20 years now. I'm a working professional actress. Myself, I was a college professor for almost a decade, and I've helped hundreds of people just like you build a career in this industry with confidence and clarity. I know many of us do shy away from the word branding, especially as we are building up our career, because it feels almost icky. But you are a business. You are a product. You are the CEO of this thing right here that you are selling to get jobs for. And we are an entrepreneur. We're a gig type of work. And so we have to make sure that our product is very clear, is very focused, and we know what we stand for, we know our strengths, and we know what we bring to the table. I'm sure as you've noticed, the musical theater industry has become quite oversaturated due to the shift to online submissions. That can be a benefit, and that also can be a little bit of a con. So we need to know exactly who you are when you submit, what you do well, and it needs to be a laser-focused package when you submit, but also online, in your socials, in your websites, in your YouTube, and all of the ways that people now are going to discover you and see the work that you do. No longer is it just show up in person and show what you have and then come to the callbacks. That is not how our industry functions anymore. And the sooner that you can take that, acknowledge it, and say, okay, these are the next steps I need to take to further my career, the faster you're going to move forward in the industry in the way that you want. The first step I want you to think through is, what are your unique strengths? Are you a dancer that also does acrobatics and silk work? Are you a singer that specializes in folk music that also plays the guitar? Are you a strong singer-actress that loves some pop rock music? You need to know right now in your career, because it will shift, what you do really, really well. Are you a singer that is a coloratura and you sing these beautiful arias? Is that your strength? What types of stories do you really want to tell? What characters do you like portraying? What style of music are you really excelling at that really makes you excited to sing and perform? Oftentimes what I will see people do is try to be everything for everyone. Like, I can sing soprano and I can sing alto and I can belt and I can do folk and I can do pop and I can do rock and no. We need to bring it back to what you do really, really well. And that's going to be different for every single human. Remember, we are a business. We need to sell our strengths. Lean into the strengths. And if you're saying, well, my strength is this thing that not a lot of people do, great. Absolutely great. Many times I will have clients and students avoid acknowledging that they are a musician. No, that's what makes you uniquely you. Or they will avoid that they write their own music, or they will avoid that they love to sing country. Don't avoid that. Lean into it. So what are your strengths? What are your best selling points? What do you do that maybe nobody else can do in this unique, collaborative, authentic perspective as an artist? Once you sit down and really acknowledge what type of stories you want to tell, what characters you want to play, what vocal, dance, musician, all of the elements that make you the best artist right now, all of your strengths, then the next step is to take all of that and to start to put it into your branding and your marketing, both in person and online. The first thing it does need to do is trickle down into your headshots. Your headshots should tell those stories, give that emotion of the roles and the characters you want to play right now that are being auditioned for, that are either in regional theater or on Broadway. It needs to be shown in your headshots because that's your product marketing aspect, right? That's the first thing they see when you submit. We also need to take that into account, and we need to start building out your demo reels, your clips. They need to specifically show those types of characters, those types of roles. Again, we are not being everything to everyone. We're going to go in and be specific. Does that mean we won't audition for other things, perhaps outside of that realm? Like, no, absolutely not. But we need to go in saying, this is what I do really, really well. This is who I am, and this is how I want to be seen in the industry. After you curate where you are coming from, the roles, all of these things that we're talking about so far, and you curate headshots and you curate media, of course, resume, but you know how to do that, then we need to start taking that into, first off, your Actors Access profile. That's number one, your casting profiles. Then also, if you use Backstage, we need to take that information and put it in there. Again, we are being strategic. Your demo reels need to be strategic to the roles you want to be seen for, how you want to be hired in the industry right now, where you fit in the industry. We're going to take that and we're going to build out your casting profiles. That's the first step, because that is the most important step to getting cast. Casting profiles, submitting, right? After that, the next step we need to take is we need to build out your website. Yep, I said it. I want you to build out your website before you worry about social media, because your website is, if someone Googles you, and if you haven't done this lately, I want you to do it right now. Google yourself, what comes up. We're going to see video popping up now as we Google everything, but I want your website to be the first thing that pops up. And here's the reason why. We can then take all of that information that we've talked about so far, that we've curated, and we can say, here it is on an online home. Let me give you more than what you saw in my casting profiles. Let me give you more than what you're going to see in my social media. Let me give you exactly what I want you to see. My strengths, the roles that I want to play, the work that I've done, my personality, my skill level. Here's where people make the biggest mistake with their website. They create a portfolio type website that literally just has their headshot, their resume, and maybe a few videos that go to YouTube. No, 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 no. What is your brand? What do you want them to know about you when they see the images, when they first pop on your website? Is it, she is a folk country singer that can also do a double, triple turn and drop in a split? Maybe that's you. Do you play an instrument? Do you really want to be seen for something that is pop, rock, that you also play the harmonica? We need to see that in your website, the first page. It can't be just a headshot of you smiling anymore. It just can't. What you're wearing, the expression that you have, the storytelling in your face, the photos, the videos, the text that you're curating is telling people exactly where you fit in the industry from your perspective. And I know a lot of people get hung up on this because they start to think, oh, well, I don't want to just do ensemble, or I don't want to just do leads. I just want to work. That's great. That's awesome. But we need to go in with being very straightforward and honest about where you fit in the industry and where you fit in each role, so that you don't show up and you show up to a dance call and you're like, I really want to sing first. And they're like, well, I thought you signed up for this dance audition and you were kicking your face in your we got to be honest with them. So you need to be specific. You need to be strategic about what you show. And if it's not a strength, we don't show it. The next step you want to take after curating a website, and I have a ton of videos on that if you want to check them out in the description box below, but the next thing we want to do is start to leverage your social media. So again, you should be putting videos and photos on your social medias that are going to showcase, again, what you do really well. If you're a dancer, video clips of you dancing in the studio. If you're a singer, little clips of you doing what you do best, whatever type of music that may be. It doesn't have to feel on social media so like a self-tape and so strict and this is my reel. It should be something different that we see in your website, something a little bit more fun, something different, because social media parties are very personal. They're very casual, and every social media party is very different. LinkedIn is more professional. Instagram is more personal. But I don't want you to feel like you have to show up to every party. I don't want you to feel like you have to constantly post. I just want to know that if I go on your Instagram, do I get an immediate taste of the work that you want to do, of what you're putting out? And that is branding. What are the roles? What are the top 4 roles that you want to play right now? And if I look at your Instagram, do I get an essence of that? Do I get a feel of that? And that could be you taking pictures in the country and posting that as photos, as videos. And I keep going back to country because that's kind of me a little bit, is that country folk style as well. But you have to know who you are and the work that you want to do. And we need to see that on your social media. If you do comedy, if you do this type of maybe even dry humor or dark humor comedy, like create some video content that is just fun, that gives us that style, that's not like a self-tape on your social media. If you're going to be on LinkedIn, we need the professional version of you, right? LinkedIn party, very different. And then when we jump over to YouTube, we need on YouTube just the videos that you would want someone to see. Self-tapes, demo reels, clips, more videos than what they would see on Actors Access, more videos than what they would see on Backstage. That's like your broadcast channel of what you do on stage or behind the camera. But again, every time you upload something, make sure that it's strictly on brand with what you do. It's strictly on brand with the roles that you want to play, how you want to be seen in the industry. Again, rather than giving them everything, we want to be laser focused. And don't try to fit into a mold. It is not necessary for you to say, this is the exact person that I am going to be like. I want to be just like them, because you'll never be like one person. You'll never be the next Jeremy Jordan. You'll never be the next Sutton Foster, Audrey McDonald, whoever it may be that you look up to. You'll never be them. And that's what's so amazing about you. You get to be who you are. Be inspired by those people. Absolutely 100%. But then make sure that you're focusing on what you do really well, and not from someone else's perspective, from your perspective. And that can shift in turn when you start to see how casting views you and what callbacks you get, and how you start to become aware of where you fit for yourself in the industry, but also how people are seeing you and what you're getting called back for on a repeat type of mode. That can really be helpful for you in the long term. Always stay authentic to yourself, authentic to what you put out into the industry, and it is better for you to put out less but highly focused headshots, websites, social media, reels, clips. It's better to be laser focused and have a curated section of your branding and how you want to be seen right now, versus trying to be everything and having something for everyone. Branding is so important, but it also is something that does take time. So give yourself a little space and grace to work through this step by step as you move forward in your musical theater career.